Hey everyone, James here with Coffee and Comics, back again for a Friday comic challenge. I was hit up, tagged in a video by Mr. Akins from What's on the Comic Rack. Thanks again for Alan over at the Comic Collector Geek for putting these out. So let's take a look at these 90s comic books. Here we go. In no particular order, countdown 10 to 1, we're going to show some 90s comics. So here we go. First one, straight out the gate. Marvel Comics presents Wolverine versus the Incredible Hulk. Very nice looking cover. Pretty good stories in here. In fact, there's multiple stories. There's about 4 different stories in this book. This is issue 55, came out in May 1990. Cover was done by June Brigman. Just thought it was a very cool looking cover. Had the Hulk up there kind of towering over Wolverine, as he should pretty much to most anybody out there. That's how the Hulk should look. Just kind of this big towering figure looking down on them. So just thought that was a cool cover. Okay, so number 2, Deathstroke, the Terminator. This is his first solo series, not the first appearance, but his first self-titled solo series. This is issue number 1, obviously, August 1991. I am a big fan of Deathstroke and Deadpool, so I like them both. They're very similar. This is Slade Wilson as Deathstroke. This also has a first cameo appearance of Ravager, which is William Waller. I just thought this was a pretty good little pose. Pretty good book. I like Deathstroke, so maybe you guys do too. The cover was done by Mike Zeck. Picked this book up a little while back for like $2 or something. It was a pretty good deal. Good condition. So next up, as you know, I'm a fan of Deadpool, so I'm a fan of X-Force, also a fan of Cable. And since Mr. Akins was talking about gimmicky books, I will show a gimmicky book here. It is a polybag book, and this is X-Force. This is issue 1D-2, come out in August 1991. Still in a polybag, still sealed. Does have the card. This is the direct edition reverse negative. Inside here is the Deadpool card, which a lot of people look to get. And right there, the Deadpool card. Looking nice, looking sharp. So anyways, that's the one on the list. I like the cover. I like the card. I like the title. I like the series. Now, is it worth a whole lot? Not really. Most of these books I'm going to show you are not worth a ton of money, but there's plenty other people out there who's showing grails and keys and things like that, and I just figured I would show some books that are kind of under the radar and maybe forgotten about, and maybe you forgot about them too. So here's a refresher. Can't have 90s without a little bit of Superman, but how about Superman and Doomsday Action Comics? This is number 684B. This is a newsstand edition. This has come out in December of 1992. This is part of the Superman Doomsday fight. This is the issue where Doomsday finally reaches Metropolis. This is number 5 in the 7-book series for this particular fight of the Doomsday event. And I like the event. I have those books, and I also love Doomsday, and I especially love when the villain is on the cover. There you go. Get you some of that goodness between Doomsday and Superman. Probably one of the best battles ever, right? I mean, you have two people who are pretty much unkillable and equal in strength and whatnot. Let me know what you think about that, if you like that event. If you're Doomsday fans, Superman fans. Next, we have The Terminatrix Objective. Now, this is an Avengers book. It's a mini-series. It's number 1 of 4, so issue 1. Also, for Mr. Akins, a little bit more of a gimmicky book there. Kind of got that holographic type holofoil cover going on. Cover done by Mike Gustovich. This is issue 1, come out in September 1993. This is the first appearance of Alioth. Alioth, also known as Alioth the Usurper. His empire is a much larger empire than Kang. Now, why do I mention Kang? Well, it's because of the Terminatrix. Now, this female right here is known as the Terminatrix, but that's just one of her aliases. She is probably better known to the majority of people as Ravonna Renslayer, who is the kind of bride, not bride, love interest of Kang the Conqueror. So that's why I mentioned all that. And Alioth is in here, and his empire is like billions times bigger than Kang's. So you get to see that in this series if you want to check it out. I thought it was a pretty cool cover. And of course, since I like my villains, Terminatrix on the cover related to Kang, That's why I have it. Next up, another villain on the cover, and I'm all about the villains. In fact, sometimes I prefer the villains over the heroes. Sometimes. So we have Doom solo series, Doom 2099. This come out in January of 1993. Cover done by Pat Broderick. Very cool cover. I love Doom. He's a major, just awesomely powerful villain. Very well known. I mean, we don't need to discuss, who he is or how he came to be, but it's a pretty good little series. In this series, Doom travels back home to Latveria, and he attempts to regain his throne from the Pretender King currently sitting on the throne. That's what the series is about. But it's pretty cool. It's kind of a little gimmicky cover as well. But who doesn't like Doom, right? Except the Fantastic Four. Next up, another book kind of under the radar, not worth a whole lot, came out in March of 1993, and it is Stormwatch #1. This is 1B, and B always reflects newsstands. A's are directs. This cover was done by the infamous Jim Lee. This is an international team. Some people may not know who Stormwatch is. It's an international team. It's guided by a guy way up in the planetary orbit. His name is Weatherman. On the ground, he has a #1 foot soldier named Battalion, who is an American. They also have someone who is Irish, someone who is Russian, and someone who is Japanese on this team, which make them an international superhero team. Also, these are supposed to be a very, very secret superhero team. So much so that some of your main majority popular superheroes are really not supposed to know about this secret team. They also, at some point in time, formed up kind of with the Wildcats. And they had that, there was a Wildstorm publisher that later merged in with DC. And then there was a title that formed, I think it was a 2-book series that formed the Stormwatch and Wildcats, and that was called Wildstorm. So if you want to check that out, you can. It's pretty interesting. But there you go. International team, Stormwatch. Next up, very popular cover. Considered a kind of a minor key, not a major key. You've seen it probably 100,000 times before. Mine is not graded, but since I'm a fan of Deadpool and a little bit of a fan of Wolverine, here you go. This come out 1994. Volume 2 of Wolverine, issue number 88D. This come out in December. Very cool cover. I don't need to go in too much of depth because I'm sure you've probably seen this. The cover was done by Adam Kubert and Brian Buccellato, if I said that name correctly. Maybe I seen this Syndicate graded, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, very cool cover and just looks really sharp. Presents well with the black and the red, and you got the blue popping off in the background. So nice cover there. This is probably one that slipped under the radar as well because I don't hear it talked about as much. But it is Wetworks, Volume 1. This is 1A from June of 1994. Cover was done by Wilcy Portacio. This has a fold-out wraparound cover. In this series, they find a golden symbiote. And they also find some Transylvanians, which later on they find out that those are vampires of the Night Tribe. So let me take that out. I want you guys to see what this wraparound cover looks like because it's pretty cool. Have you guys ever got any of the comic books for Wetworks? I think it's a pretty good series. So it does have a wraparound cover, and if we fold it out, this is what it looks like. Beautiful, don't you guys think? Very nice. Good detail, good artwork. Let me know if you guys like these Wetworks comic books. I tend to think they're pretty cool. I picked this one up at Half Price Books for only $1. Next up is Venom, Lethal Protector #1. A book that needs no introduction, a character that needs no introduction, but it looks glorious. And it's probably been shown before on some other videos for Friday comic book challenges, but it's a great book, so we'll show it again. It also is signed by Sam De La Rosa, who coincidentally worked on this cover as well as Bagley, but everyone gives all the credit to Bagley and none to Sam De La Rosa. So for this video, the credit goes to Sam De La Rosa. Super nice guy. If you ever meet him at a Comic-Con, shake his hand and get his autograph. He gets them pretty reasonably cheap, and he does remarks and all those things. He's worked on many titles, not just Venom. He's kind of been all over the place. Been doing it, I think, since the 80s, but he's been around a while. Good guy, good book. Let me know what you think about that. Maybe I get this signed, maybe I don't. Maybe I'll wait to get Bagley's signature. Who knows? We'll see. Okay, so that rounds out the 10 books for the 90s comic book challenge. But I have a bonus book to give you guys, and I only paid 22 cents because I got it in a collection, and that's what the price averaged out to be. This is #1, Valkyrie. Came out January 1997, covered by Pablo Raimondi. This is the first solo title of Valkyrie for the Brunhilde version, and it is also the death of Valkyrie for the Barbarossa version. This is a one-shot book, so there's no others in this series, so this is all you get. But I thought I would show it to you, see what you guys think, see if you want to add it to your collection. It presents well, it looks good. Anyway, bonus book, so there you go. Okay, so that's really it. That's all I got for this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the books. If you have them, maybe you want to go out and get them if you don't. So until the next video, enjoy your comics, enjoy your coffee, and enjoy your day.